Good evening. This is the Athens City Shade Tree Commission meeting for January the 12th, 2017. We have one issue under Title 33 that's was raised since I printed or typed up the agenda. Concerns the tree. We've got some photographs that the code director's taken showing a maple that is in decline. The procedure for this is that we need code to confirm that this is in the right of way, and I gather you've done it is in the right of way. We need Ron Lucas then to look at it and make a recommendation on the health of the tree. My opinion is a tree is decline. I don't know. Have we got any of the photographs of it? So for those
And
of you,
that is usually
in fatal decline. This tree is. So if Ron is of the opinion it needs to be removed, then I would recommend
somebody's living in it.
I don't think the tree commission would have any objection to that being done. So if you can communicate that to Ron, there should be a tree permit somewhere in the system for it. If necessary, he can write one up and can note that the tree commissioners have looked at photographs on it. And if you want the site, it's a pretty easy site to get to, but that tree is not going to be there much longer, I think. If we don't get about it.
That's correct.
Yeah, so unless Ron thinks there's some serious pruning that can be done to save it for a small period of time. Again, these maples are probably getting on to be 100 years old. That's the end of their life, basically. The replacement would be probably an Acer Freemanii that would take maybe 10 or 15 years to actually get to the point where it's given. This tree is giving even in its decline. So that's something always to bear in mind when we make a recommendation. Yeah, that area, the Near East side, was built up in the late 1930s. And so there was a lot of planting going on, and we have removed a lot of trees in this part of the city, a lot of silver maples in this part of the city, and we're trying to replace them with Acer Freemanii and other shade trees. The Acer Freemanii are pretty good because they have the colour of the red maple and the growth of the silver maple, but they are a lot stronger. The Acer Freemanii, it's a cross between the silver maple and the red maple.
Oh, really?
And there are 3 of them at the bottom of Morris Avenue that are about 15 years old, and they're now getting to be significant trees in that area. That's the process. Okay. Any other Title 33 issues people want to raise? I don't have anything under Title 37, except that over the holidays, Candace and Jennifer Cochran at Dirty Dog, they were not respectful to the trees as they might have been. Can you report any more on that matter?
Yes, before Councilwoman Cochran mentioned it, I had addressed it with the owner, I do believe it said Mr. Trout, during the construction period, and I'd driven over there times addressing something else, and I spoke with him personally, and he assured me that he would move the equipment. So there was huge concrete pieces that were actually almost up against the trees and the vehicles, and he did apologize because he was not there when they went to put the concrete in, and the trucks that were backing up saw the easiest access between trees, and I addressed that with him. I did apologize, and he did me that if there was any damage, that he would replace the trees. And I'm quite confident that he would do that.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm not reason not to think that.
Yeah, it's just that we lose 10 years worth of
That's
growth
right.
on that asset.
And to be there talking to him, so
That's right.
I decided it was taken care of.
Thank
Yeah.
Car wash?
Okay. Don't have written on the maintenance of the tree canopy, and this really is something that I've added into the minutes of the last meeting. I just put in the possible dates for the vine clearance as being the 25th, March 18 or March 25 as being the possible weekends that we could probably get students to help do things like that.
I looked at the area. It's mostly honeysuckle that's growing up and not as much poison ivy as expected.
Okay.
That was March 18th or 25th?
Yes, those are the ones after spring break, and it might be possible to do it February 25th, which is the sort of last weekend before
Right.
spring break.
I will not be available. I would help. It's on 25th of
Okay.
March.
Well, again, that may drive the who is actually available, because what we'll need is several tree commissioners to help out with the supervision and the tools, because we need some pruning saws and cutters, things like that to on this. And there's no reason why we can't do it all in one day if we can break up into several groups, because this is the last time we broke into two parts. From the sewage works down to roughly Walmart, and from Lowe's down to what was the end of the bike path, just before you got to the Pepsi plant. The third section we need to have a look, and that's the groups of trees that have been planted on the East 8th Street, east of the Pepsi plant. Trees planted in groups there, and some of those have got vines growing up them. So we'll probably need at least 3 groups of people working out there. So if there are 3 of us, then that would certainly help us.
March 18th would work best for me because I'm actually taking a group of students on the 25th to get urban tree canopy issues in Columbus, so I'll be gone all day up there.
So that's March 25th you'd be gone.
March 25th.
Yeah, okay. So it's looking like March 18th will be a good day.
That'd be great. I could probably fit upwards of 15 students, I think.
Okay.
That's great.
So let us shoot for that as being the divine clearance. Okay. Any other issues on the topic?
Oh, well, thank you for looking up the minutes for the firehouse tree planting.
Yes, that was...
The way matches what was planned.
well, that's the next question I have to ask. Want to go there and just fill up what you see,
They're all small.
and then we'll pass it on to our code director, and the code director will be left with the
I think they're all red buds. I mean, I'm not sure. The leaves were off when they planted them, so
But if we can have just a count up of what we think is there, and we need to...
maybe one shade tree on the
Yeah, well, the once...
sort of in the middle.
Yeah. From what I remember of the minutes, one side needed 12 large shade trees, and the other one needed 4 or 5. So
Right. Thanks for digging that up.
that's what we have minutes for.
Well, is it hard to do?
No. No, in fact, what I'll be doing very soon is producing a compilation of the 16s, which I believe the city can then make available as one big chunk in its website.
Oh, good. I have it's not a question, it's an observation of the tree that was cut down by the courthouse because for some reason, it was interfering with their work. There was the thing about the roots had stem fails, then that's when the roots start going under. But that aside, but the observation is how that tree, how well that did. It had a lot of rings on it, and it was planted since I've been a tree planter, I think, around that Shermark Oak, over next to the courthouse on Washington.
Yeah, it was a very healthy tree.
Sherwood Oak.
Shoemark.
Sure. So even though it went often,
It had done well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I was sorry to see that so prominently discussed as a way of dealing with bumpy sidewalks.
Yeah, I think there would be, I'm guessing if the wood had been there, the understanding that they might have been able to work it, but I don't know.
Well, the hope is that they will put in a sidewalk that will be more resilient, because this works for 20. The quality of the work just isn't up to the environment that they're supposed to be for.
Good point.
Anything else? Otherwise, we move to the minutes of the December 8th meeting.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Thank you.
I said it.
Thank you,
So,
Emily.
and I have a question about that
Certainly.
tree that's going to be removed, the one that's on its way out. The point you made was very good. It's going to take a new tree a number of years to, would it be better to remove that tree towards the end of the summer to get the max shade and oxygen from it, carbon dioxide removal? Because then we usually plant after the tree is dormant, so that would give us a little more.
I'll leave it up to Ron to make the
Yeah,
judgment.
my concern with our all
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Oh, okay.
it's
All
close.
right.
Unfortunately, this right way is almost right against the house.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those older homes where the situation is
Right,
rare.
that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did we find out why what Lowe's is doing behind the?
Oh, yes. Rick found out for us it's a collaboration between recreation, the city recreation thing. I can't remember what
Parks
it
and
was.
Recreation.
Parks and Recreation, that's it. Yes. I think there's another word in there. Parks and Recreation and Lowe's collaborated to put this
The
picture.
tree planting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Oh,
just
there are
that
trees too?
Yeah,
Oh,
lots
The,
of trees, yeah.
the Parks and Recreation have a habit of just doing what they want to do without telling the tree commission. They're going to do it until.
And we don't find out until someone tells us.
Well, they taste good.
It was just a kid. I was walking through something else.
Yeah, really.
What was
Who's,
the?
who's camping out? Right?
Yeah, you get that too down there as well.
Did we hear yet what the trees got planned?
Yeah, would that happen?
Where's that? The 23 trees, I believe so. Yeah. So, no objections. We will approve the minutes. We no objections. That's it. We're adjourned until February the 9th, which is our next meeting.